when I'm fighting for that 15 minutes, it's the only time I feel like I'm not waiting to die. And it's like, wow, that's deep.
That's me. There's such meaning behind that.
It is mean, and it's so true, bro. Why am I nervous? Why am I afraid of this? Why am I waiting, wishing of another week of camp before I have to go fight? But God was building up a real confidence in me, bro, is what I'm getting to.
Yeah. And how does that look?
Right now, what it looks like,
because you're fulfilling what God has intended for you.
Yeah, because I've aligning my life with His will.
Love that.
And my first step on the canvas, and my legs felt like jelly. There's no more safety nets. There's no more excuses.
Can't lie now.
The truth is against the truth.
In regards to mentality, then, was there anything inside your mind you had to correct before making that step forward?
I'd say the main thing was, other than martial arts, I had no outlet, but then I found an outlet in weed. Something that makes me feel this good and normal can't be the solution. Put God first, bro. Like, just genuinely put Him first.
But there is something about like just giving it up to God, surrendering to God's plan. Because surrender, I believe, is the greatest form of strength. Because in that case, you've got no power.
I'll know my truth.
Yeah.
And after this fight, I will know my truth. I will know whether I've been deceiving myself all this time and whether I've actually not been deceiving myself and I'm not crazy.
And like you're trusting the path that God has for you, and that's why you now have more confidence.
I have real confidence.
Real confidence, yeah.
Where I had a false confidence for so long. You know,
which always gets found out.
And it does get found out, you know what I mean? Now we're fighting, so you know what I mean?
It's nothing more. It's as real as gets. Yeah.
Do it, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not calling you a bitch. Do something about it now, you know what I mean?
You're Brian Draper.
I'm Mr. Brian Draper.
Mr. Brian Draper. Díag which?
McCarty.
Tommy Gamaug's too fain?
I remember in Rome, the only time I've ever been TKO'd in the fight. Now, I wasn't dropped or anything. That was just wrestle. Can I curse in this podcast?
Of course you can, man.
Yeah, I was wrestle Khabib's cousin. He was Khabib's big cousin, yeah. He was huge, he was.
Now, before we jump into today's episode, this podcast is brought to you by the Bond Brothers. And the question I have for you is, wouldn't you want to be walking around feeling like the man? I feel like that's a complete no-brainer. There's a real psychology behind how we dress, and when we look sharp, we move differently. And that's where the Bond Brothers come in. Irish Groomswear Supplier of the Year with their premium store in Goatstown. They offer luxury wedding suits, tuxedos, and expert personal fittings to make sure that you show up like a man on a mission. Head over to the Bond Brothers Instagram and contact Brendan, and he will make sure that you walk away looking dapper. Bond Brothers, where confidence is tailored.
I think I had a little bit more of expectation of myself to speak about God the last time.
Yeah.
And it was more just this time.
Which adds pressure, man.
It obviously did subconsciously some way, bro, because I felt like I was a little bit...
Do you want any water?
Yeah, go on, give us a glass of that water as well, please. Thank you.
No problem. Has pressure ever got to you before, even in fighting situation?
No.
You don't feel pressure, don't you?
To be honest with you, there's been pressure.
Yeah.
My last fight, I felt there was a lot of pressure. But when you trust in the work, when you trust in the work, there's no pressure, man.
It's because you have enough proof and evidence to say.
Bro, I've done enough camps now. I've had enough fights now where I know. Like, I remember in Rome, that was when the only time I've ever been TKO'd in a fight. Now, I wasn't dropped or anything. That was just wrestle. Can I curse in this podcast?
Of course you can, man.
Yeah, I was wrestle. I don't want to curse much, but I was wrestle fucked. That's what we called it.
By Khabib's...
By Khabib's cousin. He was Khabib's big cousin, yeah. He was huge, he was. He was a big guy.
If there ever was a man to do it.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But anyways, yeah, so that was the first time when I remember how confident I was, the illusion of confidence before the fight in the warm-up area, and I was moving like I normally move, and I was sharp and fainting the way I normally faint, and I was smashing the pads, bro, and I was like, I am on.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in the back of my mind, I didn't think about it, but the thoughts say, like, I describe our brains like the M50. Like, there's thoughts just going by.
Traffic.
Yeah, and we can kind of like dodge them, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like that thought was definitely in there, like, you didn't do them runs that you were supposed to do. You missed that session, you missed this session, you missed this session.
No way.
Like, how many times were you really in bad positions, Brian? These are thoughts as cars on this M50 in me brain.
As you're preparing for this
as
fight.
I'm warming up, bro. So as I'm moving and I'm hitting the pads and I'm slipping and I'm looking good and I'm feeling good, and everybody's like, bro, you're sharp, you're ready, and I'm like, yeah. But then that thought comes, bro, because we can't lie to ourselves. That's why nobody knows what's going on in each other's heads, you know what I mean? I don't know if you're, like, I know you're not, but, like, if you're looking there, you're thinking about something that is going on in your life that you need to deal with, you know what I mean? That thought keeps coming by every 10 minutes, you know what I mean? Because it's the same before the fight. Now, when you're in the cage and actually fighting, you're not thinking of anything. Yeah. For me, anyways.
That's incredible. And it's so interesting you said that, because you can't cheat. The one person we cannot lie to in life
is
ourselves, man. And we always get caught out.
Sorry, I want to just finish that, but as I walked out, that's when the illusion broke for me, do you know what I mean? And I remember when I was stepping up the steps into the cage, and I remember, bro, I took my first step on the canvas and my legs felt like jelly.
Yeah, I remember you saying this to me before.
And I remember I was stomping them and all. I was like, get them moving. And I was like, literally 3-4 minutes ago, I was literally bouncing around on my legs, and now literally because I'm in the cage, because there's no more safety nets, there's no more excuses.
Can't lie now.
The truth is against the truth, you know what I mean? And
wow,
bro,
it's like a mirror.
It's a mirror, bro.
Yeah.
And as I said, I think I told you before, bro, I could hear me ma in the stand screaming like, no, because she was like, that's not my son, that's not the guy that I've watched since he's a child fighting, you know what I mean, giving us everything. She was watching me quit, bro. But I can accept that I quit, but I quit with the mentality of I will never lose again. I made that decision in the cage, and then also they put me on concussion watch, which means you have to sit outside of the doctor's office, which is literally facing the 3 cages. So it was on the semi-finals there, because I lost in the semi-finals in that fight, and I had to sit and watch all of these lads and girls perform to their best ability, and some people that were in bad spots, and like I was, but they had the fitness, they had the cardio,
they done the work
to get themselves over, and someone will come on and won, and I had to stay there for 2 hours, bro. And the doctor asked me to remember 3 words, and he said, you can remember these 3 words after 2 hours. He said, you don't have to go to the hospital. And I said, right, grand. It was Mr. Johnson, apple, tunnel. They're the 3 words, and I still remember to this day, because I was sitting there and I was like, I'm fresh, like, do you know what I mean? I don't have to sit here, like, but it was like God forced me. You're
to reflect.
Sit here, reflect, and I wasn't allowed to look at screens, wasn't allowed on the phone. I just sit there, bro, and just watch. And I was still in me gear, bro. I was still in me IMAF gear, do you know what I mean? Glove. The only thing I didn't have on was my gloves. Had my wrap still on, had the shin pad still on. Yeah. You know. Yeah.
And what do you think it is happening? You know, when you step into the stage, when you step into the canvas there, you step on stage.
Step on the canvas.
Step on the canvas.
Yeah.
What happens to your nervous system when you take that first step and your legs go jelly? Is it just like your own body knowing, or your own mind, should I say, knowing you just didn't put the work in to justify you being in the cage in that stage?
It's your body's reaction, bro. It's your body's reaction to what's happened, to the truth. Because the truth is, you didn't do the work.
That's so interesting, man.
Yeah. So it's your body's reaction.
This is fascinating, man, because I'm looking into the nervous system a lot at the moment. A friend of mine, he's 10 years older than me. He does like coaching entrepreneurs and business owners and stuff.
Yeah.
And he deals with just purely based on the nervous system. And this applies to everyone that's ever lived. You know, we have a nervous system, but we want to get our nervous system into a state of coherence. And how that happens is when you are speaking the truth, living the truth, and everything in your life is in alignment. And especially for a fighter, if your training is out of alignment, if your habits are out of alignment, if you're missing runs, you're out of alignment to the person and identity that you want to go on and become.
To your purpose, bro.
Yeah, to your purpose, true. What happens in your nervous system, it becomes fragmented. So you're not as stable.
It's fragmented. What does that mean?
It means kind of broken up.
Broken up, yeah. Okay,
so if a glass hits the floor, it's fragmented now. It's all in little pieces.
Right.
The same way as our nervous system, in your case, when you stepped into the octagon and the canvas there, your nervous system knew that you weren't being fully truthful.
Yeah,
and that's why it couldn't give you the oomph or the energy or just the exuberance to go out there and perform like you normally would, because you're a performer at the end of the day, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've had the pleasure of watching.
And an entertainer, and you can't entertain nor perform if you haven't got the gas there.
Yeah, like, or done the preparation.
The preparation.
That's everything.
Yeah, bro.
And oh man, I'm excited for this.
Hopefully we're recording that little bit.
We're recording, I'm pretty
so I'm sure we can take a little bits of that, because that was actually a good start.
Just let me double check.
Yeah, of course. And then bang them headphones on, bro, because I just want to make sure that I'm speaking into this properly, because I don't want you to bleed. That's the last thing we need, is the audio. Me sounding like a muffled cat.
No. Right there, how are you sounding?
So,
you sound brilliant.
I'm Brian Draper.
You're Brian Draper.
I'm Mr. Brian Draper.
Mr. Brian Draper.
The boys.
Do you gwitch,
McCarty. Colours to talk to.
Tommy Gamaug's too fain?
Neil May, Co. I'm getting all mixed up now here because he's
Go over
on the spot. But Tommy, come on.
Tommy Gamau. Tommy.
Good.
Yeah, man. Only a couple of fuckle.
Cúpla focail is féidir in leabhar más átu a gcuirdaí go leor as Gaeilge ach níl mo Gaeilge sharp enough, let's say, at the moment, because I don't speak it every day, bro. I don't get to speak it every day, and what's mad is when we're in school, and every person that went to Irish school will tell you this.
Yeah.
I got suspended from school 3 times, okay? And Neil May buchel dána, okay? I'm
not a bad boy.
I'm not a bad boy. All right. It was for speaking English.
No way.
Well, no.
Kind sperla.
Ag leabhart sperla, bro. That's what they used to say. But my whole thing was, I used to put a spin on me Irish because I used to speak very sporadically and very colourfully. And there was not words in Anchanga Gaeilge to be able to express me. So I used to add words in. There was actually some German words, bro, that I used to like, and I used to mix in because we used to do German through Irish as well, bro. Way. Yeah, that's for what's that for a mind?
That's like double Dutch.
Come on, man, you know what I mean? And then they're giving out to you, you know what I mean? You're like, do you get me? Like, it's like, calm down, like, hold on. You know what I mean? You're telling me I can't speak English, I have to do everything through Irish. Yeah. Now I'm learning German through Irish. Me books are literally Irish and German. It's like, so the government, that was what it was. No, I'm joking. You ever see people wrong? No. It's great to be able to speak Irish, bro. I wish I was able to speak it more with people more regularly. And anyone that's ever went to Irish school always wanted to get out of Irish school. Yeah. But now that I'm older, I'm like, oh man, I missed being able to talk.
Beautiful language, man.
But I do speak to my kids in Irish, bro. Absolutely.
I love that. And a lot of fighters speak Irish, man. I have. I'm pretty sure Max speaks fluent Irish.
His dad's very like tribal, you know what I mean? You get that often.
But it's great to have that though.
Bro, we need
it's great to be proud from where you're from.
But without getting into it, bro, it's been spit on in this country, bro, to be proud of where you're from.
And do you know what's crazy, man? Just to cut across you there, the whole thing with the flag recently. I don't know if you've seen that. I don't know if that's still going. But not being able to put the Irish flag. We are from Ireland.
I know.
Where is this getting complicated? Whereas the identity of the flag taking on a new definition. It's just to represent the people of Ireland, which is ourselves.
The peace between the north and the south. That's all it is.
I only figured that out recently, man. My local baker was telling me, I never knew. So Ireland had its own flag at one stage, which had the harp on it.
Yeah, the harp. Yeah, the green flag with the gold harp on it.
Harp, what a beautiful instrument as well. But then obviously the British came along. What a flag! What a beautiful flag, man. But obviously to represent, like you said, the peace now between the north and south. The green is for Ireland. Yeah. The white is a peace, and the orange is for the north. Yes. And I never knew that, man. Tricolour.
Yeah, well,
interesting.
It is interesting. I think we probably learned about that when we were in school or something like that. But I actually only recently remembered that over the last year or so as well, when this whole thing about the flags came up. Like, I remember a guy put a couple of flags up on my ma's estate, and the council came around because people were complaining. And it's like, bro, I remember like there was one particular pole at like the start of my estate, and the Irish flag was on it, and I swear, man, see when the sun was setting every night, it would go right behind it, and it's just like it gives you a feeling, bro, that like a feeling that isn't like accepted anymore, which is weird. You know what I mean? It's like, why can't I feel proud of my country? I don't know why when I look at that flag in the sunset it looks beautiful to me. Yeah, it's just a flag. You know what I mean? But why? What is it that makes me feel this like
some sort of resemblance?
Something makes me sort of go, you know what I mean? Like, America! You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Do you get me?
We should be proud of where we're from, man.
Yeah, and it's not, it's not like. But I understand when people will go, oh, so yeah, you're proud nationalists. You probably love war and the idea of war and all. It's like, no, absolutely not. Like, but like I understand where that comes from. Where people are like, when you look at the flag and you're like, because that's what it sort of resembles. Like, you should only have to be like that with your country if your country's at war. You know what I mean? But it's like, no, we should be proud of where we're from. And anyway, our ancestors were. Yeah. Not so long ago, people were literally starving themselves to death over this. You know what I mean? Over keeping Ireland's like values and keeping our rights and all of this stuff.
Keeping the Irish identity.
Themselves to death, bro. For it. And now people are like giving out about a few flags being hung up. That's crazy.
You see, what I love about this country in particular, man, our culture runs deep. And what I mean by that, so how culture is formed is through like food, sport and dancing. And we're very fortunate in this country. We're known for the meat and the potatoes. Probably the best meat in
We
the
were all
world.
jacked, bro. We were all jacked.
But then you think of obviously you're hurling. We'll get into that in a second.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like
of course.
Irish sport, we've got a
Yeah.
national sport.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult for Ireland to lose its identity because we've got the GA, which is brilliant. You know, the football and the hurling. Hurling, the fastest land sport in the world, is played in this little island. Incredible. And then Irish dancing, which is beautiful. And then we've got our language as well, you know.
We've so
and
much.
this is
the
how we
music,
preserve
bro, music,
the
bro.
music,
bro.
man.
That's probably the biggest. Bro,
Yeah.
I remember watching an old and Western film, and there was a fella pretending to be American Irish. He was gonna get killed, and the fella was like, "Where are you from?" And he's from, I'm from like Chicago or something. He says, he's like, "You don't sound like you're from Chicago." He's like, "My mom and dad's from Ireland." You know what I mean? He's like, "I'm half Irish here," and he's like, "If you're really Irish, sing for me." You know what I mean?
No way.
And the fella's, well, you know, starts
Yeah,
singing, and
yeah,
like he
yeah.
doesn't get killed and anything, but it's like, that's what people associate us with, like beautiful music, beautiful culture.
Yeah.
Beautiful,
Storytellers
just
as well.
Storytellers, loving people. Like, when you're with us, you're with us. When you're against us, you're against us.
Yeah.
But able to have a scrap as well. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I look at all these lads, some of these lads in the UFC and on Cage Warriors and all these big promotions, and like some of our freak athletes. Like, and I'm an athlete myself, bro. Do you know what I mean? But more than anything, I know as an Irishman, and I've felt it in fights since I was 14 years of age. I'm fighting full contact fights against grown men, and I have heart, bro, and it's not because I'm great. I have heart. I got that dog in me. I'm not like that, bro. It's just naturally when I've been in fights, hard fights against mad-looking Polish blokes that are punching themselves in the face in the bathroom before fighting me, and I'm only 15 and all. Do you know what I mean? And my ma is looking at him walking out, punching himself, and I go out there and I'm in a 3-round war with this fella, just trying to kill him, and he's trying to kill me, and it's like, that's clearly my heritage.
Yeah.
I cannot explain to you. You could sit down right now and go, Brian, the dangers of fighting, you can lose your life, you could break your nose, you can break your eyes, you could lose your eyes, you could break your arms, your legs. Do you really want to do this? And I'm like, I understand that, and I absolutely do, and it even scares me, but I don't know why. I just want to get in that cage and fight. You know what I mean?
Well, it's what makes you feel most alive.
Well, it does, bro. And Sean Strickland said something beautiful last year, bro. He said, and Sean Strickland, I don't know if you know him, he's known to be a bit of a mad thing, but he said something really nice, and he said, when I'm fighting for that 15 minutes, it's the only time I feel like I'm not waiting to die. And it's like, wow, that's deep.
That's me. There's such meaning behind that.
It is mean, and it's so true, bro. Like, and I started to sort of think about that and reflect on that a little bit in the last few camps, you know what I mean, since I heard that. You know, and I would think about it, I'd be like, why am I nervous? Why am I afraid of this? Why am I wishing of another week of camp before I have to go fight? It's like, and my mind has changed genuinely in these last couple of fights, where I look forward now to fight week. I look forward to fight day. I look forward to the warm up, because I trust and I know now that I've done it this many times. When I get in there, I'm gonna be happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No matter how I feel before, I'm gonna be happy. You know what I mean? When I'm in that cage, I feel alive. I feel. It doesn't look like it because I'm like this, you know what I mean? Just like, that's the face I have, and it's just I'm locked in. But internally, I'm like, woo!
Yeah.
Whoa,
Loving life.
loving this, you know what I mean? This is mad, you know what I mean? Like, oh, that was close. Like, it's just me. Like, I was watching something this morning, a little thing on Jesus, talking about things. He was talking with the Apostle John, and they were trying to pick out a sermon for Jesus to teach in one of the synagogues, and Jesus says to John, this is actually recorded in the book of John, and he says to him, he's like, what do you think I should teach today, John? And he's looking at him like, what do you mean, what do I think you should teach? Oh God, like, you know what I mean? You tell me, like, and he's like, no, like, what's one of your favourites? And he's like, telling him this one, and they're back and forward, and John is not listening to Jesus, suppose. Like, he's like, he won't pick one. Jesus is trying to get him to pick one, because ultimately God knows you're going to pick one and I'm going to teach that one. But I need you to play along with me here now.
Play the player part.
But John is like refusing to like even accept this off. And this is what Jesus was trying to break with the Pharisees. He was like, he's taking it too serious. He's all need to relax. You know what I mean? Like, stop taking it literally, word for word. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what Jesus was trying to get across to them. And John obviously was a Jew back in the day, and obviously of that mindset of like, who am I to tell you what to teach, Lord? You know what I mean? And whatever Jesus looks around and he goes, John, I am who I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know that doesn't sound much. Let's say, I'm going to say it again. I am who I am. When Jesus, God in flesh, is referring to himself, he's not saying, I'm God, I'm this, I'm the most high, I'm all this. He's just saying, I am who I am, John. That's it. You are who you are. You are who you are. I am who I am. Jesus, God, he is who he is. And so when we try to get our brains around God and we're trying to understand all of this stuff, he's just like how is God? How is God God? That's his answer. I am who I am.
I am
the same way
yeah.
you are who you are, and no matter what you do to try and not be yourself, you can't be anyone else.
And for you in this case, are you trying to emphasize that you are meant to be a fighter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so when I'm fighting, that's who I am.
Yeah.
And since when I found God in 2020, and then previous to that, when I didn't really know him or tried to run away from him type thing throughout my teens, it was like I always found like I was battling with whether I was meant to be on this path of fighting or not, and whether, because I first started off with hurling. When I finally, after 3 or 4 years of trying, made the Dublin development squad, I got onto the squad, whatever, and then it was like when I achieved that part of hurling what I chased since I was a child.
Yeah.
God brought MMA in like 6 months before, and that was getting to a point where I'd found MMA really, and I was like, he made me make a decision. You know what I mean? It was like, so then when I left hurling, this thing I'd committed my whole life to, and started focusing on MMA full time, it was like even all the lads who used to play hurling, we all went to school together, we all played on the school hurling team together, we played in primary school together, so like we were like, there was a bit of a grudgement there, like not as in they didn't want me to do well or anything, but in a way like,
you're leaving us.
You're leaving us, man.
Yeah.
You know what the heck? Like we've won everything. We're the probably best underage team in Finbar's history, which we probably were, bro. We won so much. Like we were Division 1 and all.
Yeah.
And God made me make that decision, bro. And my ma helped me very much making that decision. You know what I mean? She laid out where hurling and Gaelic ends up, and where MMA could possibly take it, because she obviously could see where I couldn't see. You know, where we all know what GAA clubs are mostly known for: drinking and the other stuff. You know what I mean? The devil's dandruff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Devil's dandruff.
Yeah.
I've heard that one before, man. Yeah.
But it is though. You know what I mean?
Interesting. Yeah. Even then, yeah.
So I had to make that decision, bro, and I chose MMA. But for like my teens, because I wasn't close to God and didn't know my true purpose.
Yeah.
I was fighting. Should I have left hurling? Should I have left hurling? Now I'm getting 17, 18. Even though I'm doing so well, I'm winning world titles and doing all this, I'm still in the back of my mind, I'm like, should I have left hurling though? Should I have left hurling then? And then I found God, and then it was all, wait, if God is real, then how could he want me to fight people? So now when I was sure that I was going to be an MMA fighter, then I found God, and it was like the last 4 years of trying to figure out whether I should even be trying to think of hurting people, if that's even right, you know what I mean? So then I had that battle, but then through seeking him and trusting and just waking up every day and handing it over to him, I realised that these coincidences just kept on happening.
Yeah.
Kept on happening. Like,
and what would they look like?
Well, for instance, this week, I'll give you one just fresh off the bat.
Yeah.
My professional debut was against a guy that's a southpaw. Southpaws are very rare to come by, especially in the heavier weights. They're awkward. I accept this fight. I get a message off one of my good mates, fellow cage warriors fighter as well, Trevor McKengo, big heavyweight southpaw. We've trained together loads. We actually fought each other early and amateur twice. And you're all good, brother. You're all good, brother. Take it. Sound check.
The water the wrong way, bro.
It's all good. Bro, take that one.
We're back.
Yeah, so me and Trevor then linked up and started training. Trevor's a southpaw, bro. He reached out to me.
Is he in Cage Warriors?
Yeah. He reached out to me, and he's like, let's get some training in, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, right, lovely. There's one southpaw for training for me.
Brilliant.
Then my mate Darby puts a photo up. I didn't even want to put a photo up of the training, because just like, sometimes you don't need to always post when you're training. You know what I mean? Because
how come?
God rewards us in private, bro. And sometimes when we do that session and it's like I feel great. I'm gonna post this. You know what I mean? Looking fresh, and it's like there's nothing wrong with that. Also, we need to create content. That's what you have to do as well to make your brand grow. You know what I mean? So you can ultimately help more people. But still, sometimes for that session particularly, I didn't feel the urge. Like, even though me and Trev hadn't trained in a while, it was like we could have got a cool photo. Be like, yo, bro, me and Trev trained together. Would have Cage Warriors probably been like, oh, look at these two training together.
Yep.
It's like, but I didn't post that. But Darby took a little sneaky snap of two of us sparring and put it and tagged us, and I put it on my story then. And
we will get back to the conversation in just a second, but if you're enjoying this episode, please leave a 5-star review, share with a friend, and make sure to hit that follow button for the next episode. And what this will do is just help the podcast grow and grow so I can get bigger and better guests as we go along. All the best.
Basically, I don't know where I'm going with this. But anyways,
synchronicity.
It was just weird how, the synchronicity of it all happened, where I had a conscious thought after sparring to go, I'm not going to post anything because I want God to reward me in private. I want this just to be, I don't need anyone to know about this. This was just hard work. This was just
private victory.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It was a little private victory. Look, we got this good work and we got this good sparring, and just keep it between me and him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And God obviously wanted it to be out there anyway, so he compelled Darby just to take a little snap and put it out there anyways, and you know what I mean?
And
was then off that, what I'm saying, off that then, Thomas Carty texts me again. Me and Thomas sparring anyways regularly, but we haven't sparred in a couple of weeks, and he just texts me and he was like, bro, we need to get some sparring in ASAP. Thomas, big heavyweight southpaw. You know what I mean? Probably one of the best southpaws in Europe, bro. You know what I mean? So
deadly.
It's like
knock-on effect, man.
Bro, but it's these coincidences
that
happen after you make these decisions, these tough decisions, like that tough decision to sign this pro debut. It's a tough fight. I could potentially wait a little bit longer and get an easier fight and make a mark on the pro debut, but
you're looking to go pro, man.
I'm looking to go pro, and I'm looking to do it right, bro.
Your time is coming, man.
My time is coming,
sense
bro.
it, brother. I sense it. I love it. Brian, big, sexy Draper. That's a fucking banger, man. Is that what you're going with?
I'm not going with anything, bro.
You're not, yeah. Just let people. Who gave you that?
Paddy Symes gave me that when we were in Romania in 2018.
That's a great name.
On the Irish team. He called me big sexy after me fight. He said, but Reds, Paul Redmond also claims that he's the Cage Warriors commentator, but he's also a former UFC fighter, former Bellator fighter. He fought in every promotion, has records of Cage Warriors. He's a jiu-jitsu coach. But he claims he gave it to me.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago,
Actually, look, we'll stick with it for now anyway.
The way I go with it is, bro, look, I don't want kids. At the end of the day, I look to influence all people, but at the end of the day, kids, younger generations, I don't want people, because people outside the gym and all that, there's big sexy, all right, everyone calls me big sexy, and it's like, I don't want their children saying big sexy, but it's like, at the end of the day, if I can't.
But it's lighthearted though.
It is, and I can't stop it, because I can't start telling people not to say it, you know what I mean? So, and it's just stuck. They say you don't like your nicknames, like you don't pick them. You know what I mean? They sort of get given to you. But the way I always say it is, I'm big and my movement is sexy, because my movement.
And you're sexy.
Well, don't tell me missus, bro, tell that actually to me missus, I'm joking. But, so that's where that nickname, the original name was the Dominator.
Oh, nice.
My ma gave me that, and when I was only like 15, after I done my first jiu-jitsu competition, I had 7 or 8 matches, and I lost the first one, and I won 6 in a row or something. And I ended up winning the tournament. And when I came out afterwards to the car, she was waiting in the car for me. She was obviously, I'd been watching. She went outside, and she was like, my ma's as mad as me. She was like, I have your nickname. And I was like, me, awkward 15-year-old, what? You know what I mean? She's like, the Dominator. I was like, no. I was like, ma, I sound like a porn star. That's a porn star's name. I was like, please, no, don't ever say that to anybody ever again. She convinced me to let one MC call me out as Brian the Dominator Draper in Newcastle. And the boys still give me stick over to this day. Just call me the Dominator.
That's gas, man.
Yeah, it is gas. So I prefer the big sexy over the Dominator. Sorry, ma. But
I love it, man. I love it. What I would love to do on this podcast is an almost timeline of your career up until this point.
Okay.
So we're going to go back to the start in a second. I suppose to give a bit more context around this conversation as well. How this came to be, man. Was just a random message dropped on Instagram.
Yeah, do you want me to say?
Yeah, well, I think it was just was it after the podcast with Alex Nolan?
Alex Nolan's podcast.
And man, I'd love receiving messages. Who doesn't, But this one in particular kind of hit home with me because it was, it was thoughtful, it was intentional, and had a lot of context behind it. you obviously felt moved to reach out.
The
I'd
Holy
say.
Spirit was not letting it go, bro.
Yeah.
It was
crazy.
It was 3 or 4 times that I kept seeing the same clip occurring.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even following you nor Alex at the time.
Yeah.
So that was a bit.
Oh, that's mad.
Yeah, that's mad, because that was after that was when I followed you, because I did.
Yeah.
I just.
I always
kept
thought you were
seeing it.
following him.
No. I'd seen bits and bobs
Yeah, of course,
of
yeah.
Alex. Maybe I was following. I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe I was.
That's interesting though.
Yeah, but just on the fourth time, I was like, okay, Lord, you know what I mean? I'm gonna send. And then that message that I sent, bro, obviously it was. Excuse me. It was just like. It was just truth.
Yeah,
That was it.
the
There
truth,
was
man.
I just typed.
And do you know what's
Kept
so
typing.
funny about the truth? We keep touching on the truth.
Yeah.
When you stepped into canvas, the Bible, man. I'm starting to believe that when we read the words of the Bible, that first off they connect with the Spirit within. But why it resonates with with us so much, it's because it's the words of truth. And when we read them, man, it's just like I said before, it uplifts our spirit. It gives us something more, and it's like, yeah, there's something to it. There's something just being truthful in life, especially like if you want to act and coordinate yourself, like being integral. That comes from being honest with yourself, being truthful. So a big part of it. But anyway,
Absolutely,
in regards to your situation, Brian,
Yeah.
how was it that you even ventured into martial arts initially?
So martial arts. I started martial arts when I was 6 years old. That was my first time in a kickboxing gym. My mum used to be a kickboxer, and she brought me to the kickboxing gym when I was 6, and I used to go and do the classes with her. Then I was doing that for about a year and a half or so, and then when I was 8, I went into boxing. When my dad died, my uncle wanted me to go down to the Glasnevin Boxing Club.
Yeah.
So I boxed then from when I was 8 till I was about 11. And in between when I was boxing as well, the whole time I was playing hurling. Started hurling. Hurling was my first thing I ever done. At 4 I joined they call them, I don't know what they call them, like the little cadets or something like that. Like the Nina of hurling.
The academy, like
the academy
yeah,
type thing.
yeah.
I joined that when I was 4. So I was playing hurling and Gaelic the whole time as well. So when I was doing hurling, Gaelic, and then boxing, because my mum didn't go back kickboxing after my dad died, and she was just kind of dealing with that, and I went boxing then. So I was boxing till I was about 11, and then I went into kickboxing. So then I went back to kickboxing, should I say. Started kickboxing then, because boxing, to be honest with you, bro, I was being used as a punching bag because I was quite good, but I wasn't good enough to be sparring good lads that were actually good. You know what I mean? I was like, let's say, had potential.
Yeah.
But I was being put in with guys that were just always beating the crap out of me. So, and I was never learning. You know what I mean? So, my mum used to come watch random sessions, and she kind of started to realise that she's been around clubs and stuff like that herself. She kind of knew, she was like, you're being used as a punch bag. She was like, let's get out of here for a while.
Yeah.
So after that I went kickboxing, and I started kickboxing till I was maybe from 11 till about 13.
And where did this happen?
This was in Global Kickboxing. So this wasn't KKC. I ended up back at KKC. So I'm with Global Kickboxing for 2 years. And that was good because I was with one of my mates and that was fun and all. And we didn't get any real, say, fights. But at 13, I really started to get good at hurling. And that was when the Dublin Development Squad started looking. So I was like, right. So I sort of stayed away from kickboxing because it wasn't that serious. And I really focused on hurling, and I was doing well in hurling, and then 14s I played hurling, and then when I was about 14, 15, then I found MMA.
Oh.
So this is where MMA.
This is where the UFC started to get big.
But this is when Conor McGregor came around. But I had already, already been watching the UFC prior to Conor. My dad used to have DVD tapes of, and I know every person says this, my generation, but it is true. Like I still have them, like the old UFCs on DVDs.
Who were you watching, like?
Bro, the old Gracies and all, like the Gracies,
that
bro.
far back.
Boz Rutan, and Arlovsky, when Arlovsky was champion, bro, back in like 2005. Like these are like all old tapes, like old, not tapes, videos. Like, you know what I mean? Like DVDs.
They'd be worth something nowadays.
Probably are, bro.
Yeah.
But I'm never selling them, you know what I mean? So don't even try. But my first ever fight I remember watching, bro, was I remember watching on the telly. Was Nick Diaz versus George St. Pierre. And that was in 2012. Around that time when I looked into that, I found John Jones. And John Jones became champion in 2011. So I just fell in love with watching John Jones' fights, and just whatever this fella was doing, I just loved about it. You know what I mean? And then obviously I was hurling and I was more looking at MMA as like I was a fan, and then but I obviously had this martial arts experience, so that's why I was drawn to it. And then 14, one of the best years I had in hurling. That was when I first got into the development squad under 15s, under 16s, but I had left right before 16s to go MMA full time because that was like a year.
That must
later.
have been a big decision to make.
Yeah, it was a big decision.
Were you starting with the development squad, or were you in and around, or how was that looking?
So I was at that doing like probably like 5 or 6 training sessions, and I played 2 matches for them.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So like it wasn't very. It's like that's what it is. Like it's like once a month you'll go to them. Like that's what it is. And they'll do like in Saint down at Clontarf you'll meet, or in St Anne's Park you'll meet, or in DCU you'll meet. It's like there's all different.
So it was sporadic. It wasn't continuous.
Yeah. Because like
it's still development.
It's still development. Do you know what I mean? And they're just kind of looking at you. One week you get called in, 1 week you don't. Then you get called back out. You do well. You get called to a match. You don't do well in the match, or they don't think you do well in the match.
Yeah.
And then you don't get called back for another 2 months. It was like that. So it wasn't like...
It wasn't overly serious.
No.
Okay.
No, but it was still I was aiming. That was what I was in the mix.
Yeah.
Because that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to get to Dublin. You know what I mean? That was my goal. In hurling as well. That was when I started really focusing on hurling, and sort of didn't really want to be playing much more Gaelic. I just love hurling. So then MMA, bro, and I'll tell you the story about MMA. So what happens is, in my house in 2012, just after I sort of watched Nick Diaz, George St. Pierre, I'm watching the film called Warrior with Dan Hardy. Great film. And I watched that film with my mum and my brother, and my mum goes over to my nanny's. And after that, it was like the seed was planted. It was like, that's what I want. And I don't know why I was drawn to that, but I was drawn to that. And I just, ever since that moment, I was like, I am doing this sport. One way or another. You know what I mean?
And you know then it was going to be MMA, yeah?
Yeah, it was like MMA. So then, this is before I found the gym. So then, my mum's friend, Johnny, owned a strength and conditioning gym called Body Conscious. And below that gym, it was in a 2-story unit. Below that gym was a mixed martial arts gym. We come home one day to my house, and my next door neighbour Lorraine is good friends with Johnny. My man Johnny grew up together but hadn't seen each other in probably 10 years. Johnny's outside Lorraine's house, literally next door, and he's standing outside the gate, and my man gets out and looks at him, and she's like, Johnny, and they start talking. Hadn't seen him in years. So, blah, 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 what he is up to, blah, blah. He ends up getting us to come down to Body Conscious. My ma ends up telling him that, you know what I mean? Oh, he knew that I was doing kickboxing and boxing. I was like, he's still doing blah, 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 blah. And I was like, no, he's focusing on the hurling now. And he says, there's an MMA gym below me. No way. Yeah, so go down. What's the gym called? Warrior. Gym is called Warrior.
You have a lot of these synchronicities, man. Because they're no longer coincidences. The man above.
The Bible says they're not coincidences.
No.
So when you read the Bible, you know that they're not coincidences.
I couldn't believe when you told me that. Because I was only talking to someone recently. I was like, people that call situations in life coincidences don't believe in God. Or tend to not believe in God.
It's an atheist term.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
it's an atheist term.
Yeah.
Wow. Because life is one big synchronicity. Or God plans it to be that way.
Yeah, bro.
God has intended.
Yeah. Everything leads back, everything in life calls for creation.
Yeah.
So they can't lie about that. So they can't lie about that. So they have to. They can't. It's like me trying. It's like this. We could call this is a table.
Yeah.
I call it a table. You call it a table. We believe in God. You believe in God. Someone can walk in this room and say that's a desk. They're just calling it something different. That's what atheists do. That's what science is trying to do. Science wants in the all old scientists were Christians, because science is the pursuit of God. If there's no creation, there's nothing to study science on. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like someone coming in and just saying this is a desk. I mean, you go, we call it a table, but you call it a desk.
Yeah, that's so
that's
good,
fine.
man.
That's fine
so
if it's just us. But when
Yeah.
that person starts going out and start going, just saying, them idiots are calling it a bleeding table, it's a desk, you know what I mean? And this is the reason it's a desk. It's got wood and it's curved and it's with stuff on it. You know what I mean?
That's wild, man.
Yeah.
That's wild.
See how silly that is, bro?
Yeah.
When we actually break it down, it's very silly. And this is what I do try to get across to my friends and the people that I do talk to and on the boys in the gym and all. And it's like, they're just taking the mickey, do you know what I mean? But it's like, that's what I'm trying to explain to them. If you actually use our little brains there, boys, you know what I mean? I know we've been getting punched in the head for a long time, but we're not all brain dead, yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, it's being awake to it as well, isn't it? Being like having awareness around it. That's definitely the number
and
one
also,
thing.
bro, God knows when it's your time. Do you know what I mean? It's like I didn't wake
that,
up.
man.
I didn't wake up in June that day and decide that I'm gonna get saved today.
Yeah.
It just happened.
That's an interesting thing. Because for me, I only found God during the summer. And I was like, was I only meant to find God then?
Yeah, of course you were,
Yeah.
bro.
But like,
God knew your name before you were knitted in your mother's womb. He knew your name before you were a thought in your mother and father's mind.
yeah.
So that means he knew you before you were So that means before the egg and the sperm met and you were conceived, it
was already written.
You were before. You know what I mean? In God's mind. He knew James Henry.
But isn't
already.
it the thing I'm most
Of course.
interested and fascinated by? Like, why does it take some people so long to find God?
Why does it take so long for people to find God?
Because think about your situation. You found God 4 years ago. You're saying 5 years ago.
5 years ago, 2020.
So why was it that you were like 21 or 2021? You found God then. Why not find Him sooner? Because it's interesting.
Because the in between, the same way you have a vision in your mind. Before you started this podcast, you had a vision in your mind of what you wanted this to be. You had the end goal vision. You had the picture of the end goal in your mind.
Correct.
The same way I have the picture of the UFC in my mind. That cage, them gloves in my mind. The in between, the reason why you can't see how every single day is going to be and the whole lead up to this grand finale is going to turn out, the reason why you don't know that yet is because that's between you and God. That's where you and God's relationship grows. Through the good times and the bad times, through this part.
Yeah. The in-between phases, the
in-between phase. And the same before you find God. God leaves you as long as it takes for you to harvest close enough to Him to go, oh, He is real. You know what I mean? And it takes some people that it's fed into them from very young.
Yeah.
Some people it takes them till they're 40. Some people it takes them till they're on their deathbed. I've heard testimonies of people when they're on their literal deathbed at 70 and 80 years of age. I've heard loads of them of people coming to Christ at that age. I've heard stories of people have literally seen the angels in their room and God sparing them that last 5 minutes to hear the gospel and to accept them, because God gives us till the last second. That's why there's so many near-death experience stories. There's a guy, I never remember his name, but he wrote loads of books and he studied over 1,500 near-death experiences. And his whole job is, he says, from the Holy Spirit, is to interview all these near-death experience people, bring it all together and piece together all the similarities and try narrow it down to what's really happening when people have a near-death experience.
And what comes up?
The majority of them say that they get separated from their body. They can remember they can see what's happening to them after they're dead. They can tell what's happening to them after. A lot of people that die in hospitals and all, they always say that they're looking at the doctors trying to bring them back. They're looking at the nurse. They're looking at people. They're able to tell who came in and out of the room after they're dead. So this is what factualizes these things.
And then they end up getting revived.
Well, a lot of them do, but my point for bringing that up was, sometimes people will die and God will send them back. That's how graceful our God is. He will send them back to give them a second chance because He knows that in their heart they will find Him.
Yeah. And that is so funny you said that, because I've heard of a few accounts of near-death experiences of people coming back. They see the white light, they see Jesus or God, whoever it might be, and then they're given second chance, like you said, gracefully given second chance.
My own cousin, that's what my own cousin David.
Yeah.
He was hit by a motorbike when he was 13 years of age. You know what I mean? He went on the mitch from school, got the bus home early. The bus pulled up. The bus pulled up here. He got off, walked around the back of the... got off, walked around the front of the bus, and a motorbike overtook the bus. From far down, seeing the bus was pulled in, was overtaking the bus.
Fuck.
And he walked straight out, knocked him about 30 or 40 feet in the air, sent him about 30 metres down the road, bro. Not 30 metres, probably about 10, 15 metres. Sent him about 30 or 40 feet down the road. A whole skull broken, whole face broken, looks the exact same, has a scar across his head here, died 4 times, read his rights 4 times, came back to life. All he kept saying was, to me and my cousins, because we're all the same age, we're all within a year of each other, Dean's the oldest, Then it's David, all a year between us. Dean, David, me, my brother, Robert. You know what I mean? They're like we're like the 5 older cousins.
Yeah, and what did he say about the Holics?
That God is real.
Yeah, incredible.
And he's not even a Christian now. He's not a Christian now. Like, I try to talk to him about God and he calls me crazy. You know what I mean? But I'm like, bro, you literally used to tell me, but whatever. You know what I mean? Because he doesn't want to know, because he loves that. He loves a drink. He loves he loves fun. But that's because that's just who he is. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, interesting. Let's bring this back, because we went down the synchronicity route.
Yeah.
You were in this Warrior gym after watching Tom Hardy in the Warrior movie.
Yeah, and then somehow
you're about to become a warrior.
I'm about to become a warrior. Yeah. And I come into this gym, and this gym is owned by a guy called Dottie Quinn. And Dottie Quinn was a brown belt under Andy Ryan, who owns Team Rhino. So it was like called them an affiliate gym.
Okay.
So they were affiliated with Team Rhino. 6 months into this gym, 7 months into the gym, it closes down. I end up going to Team Rhino. I go to Team Rhino, and at this time there's all like Neil Seary, The Butcher, Paul Redmond, John Redmond, Johnny Jitsu, like loads of these all Irish legend fighters, but they're all like high level professionals at this time. And I'm coming in the gym 15 years of age at this point, and I'm getting punched around by these lads, you know what I mean? And that was when I realised, because in my mind I was a good striker, because I was doing it since I was a child. So I had a good understanding of striking. But these lads were MMA fighters. They weren't strikers, they weren't boxers, and they weren't kickboxers. So it was different. Yeah. You know what I mean? With the smaller gloves as well, it's different.
What did you struggle with at the start?
Getting hit too much.
Okay.
Getting hit too much.
Leg kicks?
Not even leg kicks or anything, because I was quite good at that. It was more just to the face, but I was just getting hit too much.
Okay.
Like, and I recognised I was getting hit way too much. So in my mind, I didn't want to keep going, but I stuck with it for like a year. Maybe like a year, maybe like a little bit less than a year, maybe like 7 months. And then I said to me, Ma, I need to go back kickboxing. And she's like, what, you want to do MMA? And I'm like, yeah, but I need to get better at striking. I was like, I'm not at the level that I thought it was. So I suppose looking back, that was good to have that. But again, bro, I genuinely know it's the Holy Spirit, because I'm constantly conflicted when I make these decisions. You know what I mean? So it shows that if you're being conflicted, if I decided right now, James, me and you are going to get a blade, a load of cans, and we're just going to go out, I guarantee you the boat would be on a great buzz. We're not thinking, now, we're both logical blokes, we probably would, but in general, you'd be like, yeah, that's a good buzz, we're on a good buzz. Yeah. The enemy will never then infiltrate our brain and give us second thoughts and make us second guess ourselves. So because when I'm making these decisions, and they're for the best, they're in my best interest, I'm being conflicted. And now I know 10 years later, because I study the Bible and I follow God, I now know that they were the right decisions, and that confliction was the proof of it. Yeah. Because that was the enemy trying to just do me head in.
Doubt your mind.
Doubt me. Make me put a lot of self-doubt in myself, and I'm not doing the right thing. So anyways.
Yeah, and you overcame that.
Yeah, thank God. So I came to my mum, said that to her. Next of all, my granddad gets cancer, and we have to care for him and he was only after selling his house on Carlock Road, the house that I was born in, and he moved into the old folks' homes up on Fossa Avenue, beside the church. And this is in Cabra, and it was a 1-bedroom old folk home, and we had to live in it with him. Not living it, we were like, my ma was staying, she'd come back, we'd go over, stay till late, go home, come back over early in the morning, she'd go over in the middle of the night if she had to. Then my house floods, and the house just the boiler burst and flooded the whole house. The walls were destroyed, everything, the whole house was unlivable. Randomly. So we then had to move into the 1-bedroom apartment with my granddad, who's dying of cancer. Yeah. Me and my brother slept on the sofas. My ma slept in the bed with my granddad, who was dying. You know, I'm only imagining how that was for her. But we had no other choice. We had to sleep on the floor. Yeah. You know what I mean? So KKC is right around the corner from my granddad's house. The house won't be done for like 12 weeks. My granddad dies within like 2-3 weeks of this. So we have like 10 weeks left in this 1-bedroom apartment till we can go home to our own house till it's fixed. In that time, KKC is a 1-minute walk around the corner on Banner Road. The gym that I wanted to go to. But somehow this is all brought together. I go around, first night there, great session. Second night I come back, the head coach Nico was there, he wasn't there the first night. sees me hitting pads, comes over to me and goes, have you trained before? Yeah, tell him all what I've done. He goes, jump in the ring, makes me spar. I sparred a few lads, done well. He says to me, we're looking for a heavyweight for the WACO World Championships this year. He says, would you be interested in trying out for it? And I says, yeah, like, whatever, it's a fight, yeah, sound.
How old are you this age?
I was 16.
Okay.
So, I go, I do the trial for the WACOs. I got absolutely battered, but I got up every single time. I got put down with body shots, everything, bro. I was getting punched around. These are all the best strikers in Ireland, like, and they're battering me. The head coach, Jim Upton, says, I'll give you a chance. So he gives me a chance. I trained for the whole summer, 7 days a week. Training with him on the Irish squad, training in his gym because he had a gym as well, so I doing privates with him. My ma just poured so much into it, bro. She was like she's on this journey with me, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I remember the last sparring session before the WACO World Championships, he said, you're not fighting next week until I say so today. And I remember it was probably one of the hardest sparrings I've ever had. I had done 10 rounds straight, bro, 10 3-minute rounds with all new people coming in. I was crawling around the cage, the ring.
All fresh people coming in as well?
Yeah, but like fresh-ish. Like some
yeah.
people had been in 2 or 3 times, but they're still getting a 3-minute break in between or a 6-minute break.
And you're doing 10
and I'm just
rounds.
getting 1 minute breaks in between. Yeah, so pushed me to my limit. And he then said, right, yeah, sound good. But after it, I was like fully exhausted. He said, right, we're doing sprints outside. He made us do 10 sprints outside, bro. Oh, man. I remember I fell and scraped my knee, bro. I had the scratch on my knee in the fight and all, bro. A big gash on my knee, bro. My legs just, from the lactic acid, were gone.
Yeah.
Like on like the 8th or 9th sprint, bro, I just like fell. My legs just went, bro.
Well, man. And what was it to prove that you wanted it? What was this to prove?
Bro, to be honest with you, I think he always was going to let me go in because realistically, no, probably wrong to say. He was testing me, but he also didn't want me going in there and making Ireland look bad.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
He didn't want to send anyone in
Represent
there.
the country.
Exactly, bro. The highest level of the sport in the country. Like you can't just... And the WACO World Championships is like the Olympics of kickboxing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And there's only one fighter from Ireland that comes in
per weight class, yeah.
Per weight class,
Per weight
okay,
class,
okay.
yeah. So, I went and done that. Got third place, fought a Russian in the semi-final, took the gold medal, took the bronze medal. It was great experience, all that. Then I went back to MMA. After that, I felt like my striking was at to get into a really good point, especially with like 4 months straight of 7 days a week kickboxing. It was a lot, you know what I mean? I was really sharp.
Sharp as a sword.
And as well, I was at the developing as well, bro, in that stage as well. I was at the becoming, like, getting more solid. I was growing a little bit as well.
Yeah.
So I was a little bit more suited to go back up to Team Rhino. Went up to Team Rhino, and that was when, like, all the new lads that we grew up with were there. That was when, like, I met Adam Darby, I met his brother Aaron Darby, I met Paddy Simons, I met James Sheehan, Graham Sheehan, all these boys. These all started around that time as well. James was there actually a little bit earlier before us all, but yeah, so that was then. I went back to MMA then, and a year later I ended up having my MMA debut, and then I get my first job in the airport, and I get a call off me. Excuse me. I get a call off my MMA, my old kickboxing coach Nico, and he says, "Do you want to fight for a world title in 3 days?" And I started laughing, and I was like, "Yeah, right." Like, do you know what I mean? So my whole thing in my brain was, I'm going to win a world title in kickboxing, then I'm going to go into MMA. I'm going to be a world champion kickboxer. Going to MMA. This was all my plan. Do you know what I mean? Because I knew that, like, that any accolade on paper, doesn't matter what, it looks good on your resume, bro.
Oh,
it makes
100%.
It does,
yeah.
bro. You know what I mean? So I was like, and especially then I was like so invested in the UFC. I knew like, watching every Dana White interview. I knew exactly what he wanted in a fighter. I knew exactly what he looks for in a fighter. And I was like, right, sound. But I'm in work that day, and it's obviously 3 days notice, so I can't change the roster.
Yeah.
So I'm like, right, I'm in work, so I'm gonna have to go straight from work to the fight. So my mum, brother,
in Dublin, yeah.
Yeah. So the story behind it is, I fought an Australian guy. He was meant to fight a guy from the UK for the WMO heavyweight world title. The guy from the UK got the flu the week of the fight. The guy from Australia came 10 days before. So he's already here like 7 days.
Yeah.
To acclimate, because obviously on the other side of the world.
Of course.
So he came over a lot earlier. So the Australian guy was already in Ireland. And the English guy is out. So they're like, we need somebody. So they're like, who's the best Irish heavyweight? And they're like, well, he's the last Irish heavyweight that fought in the Wackos. So they obviously asked for me.
Yeah.
That's me coach rings me. Yeah, accept the fight, grand. My man and brother come and collect me. They collect me, I go to the arena. I remember I'm standing watching a few of the fights, and this big Samoan looking mofo, bro, yeah, he's standing there. And I'm like, he has Australia on the back of his t-shirt, and I'm looking at him, and I'm looking at him. And he ends up sort of making his way over here, and I just sort of nudged him, and I goes, oh, what's up, bud? I said to you, the Australian team's coach. Bro, this guy had a big beard and all, you know what I mean? And he looks at me and he goes, oh, no, brother, I'm fighting today. And I said, who are you fighting? He goes, that's some Irish kid. I'm like, oh, you're fighting me? And he looks at me, and I was a good bit taller than him, but he looks at me and he's like, I'm fighting you. You're a kid. He's like to me, and I was like, you're a man. You know what I mean? I was like, what? I was like, yeah, cool. I was like, best of luck anyways, yeah, and sound. But like, that put the fear of God in me, you know what I mean? Which was a good thing, because, bro, when you're fighting, that's why I say pressure suits me.
Yeah.
Because the higher the stakes, bro, the more you focus, the more you're like.
Yeah.
If a little cat came in here, bro, and was jumping on tail, me and you'd be grand. You know what I mean? Be like, there's a cat there.
Yeah.
If a lion came through that door, bro, me and you are up, like, what's happening? Do you know what I mean? Like, what focus, what, like,
laser
survival
focus,
mode.
Yeah,
so that's what that sort of put me into. After, because I thought I was fighting some Australian guys similar age to me, probably a little bit older, because I always fought people that were older than me. Ended up fighting this guy, bro. Went in, whooped his ass, bro, in 3 days. Now, it was one of the best performances of my life, because I was running off pure fear. And I whooped him, bro. TKO'd him, gave him like 8 counts, but it was like 5 8 counts over the course of 2 rounds, and ended up stopping him. It was just, bro, it was just brilliant. Like, on the best moment of my life, bro. Couldn't
all
believe
the training paying off.
All it paid off, bro,
Yeah.
and it was so unexpected. And then I went back to MMA. Then my coach was like, "Oh, you should look to go to the Wackos next year." I was like, "No, I'm going MMA. MMA is me path." I didn't know why, but it was. You know what I mean? And then I went back up to Team Rhino. And yeah, then it all started from there. Then,
yeah.
bro,
Before we jump into the fights, because obviously, you're about to turn pro now. Is this a pro fight in March?
Yeah, bro, I am a professional since last April.
Yeah, you just haven't fought professionally just yet.
I had to go back and fight one amateur in October, because there was such a long gap between my last fight. So, yes, I am
professional.
I am not fighting amateur again. I have turned professional.
Yeah,
and. Yeah.
Brilliant. There's one thing I want to touch on, because we've mentioned it off podcast, and I think it definitely has significance to your own development as well.
Yeah.
During your teenage years, you once, was it during your teenage years about the bullying?
Yeah.
Was
bro,
it?
No.
Younger,
bro, from when I was, after my dad died, from like 9 and 10, because when I was like, after my dad died, my mother's way of comforting me, my brother, was through food, through going to pictures, through going to, like, Eddie Rockets in the pictures was a Friday night ritual, you know what I mean? Then it turned into getting a Domino's on a Saturday night with the fights. That's what I'm saying. Like, it was all just nurturing food, making us feel safe.
Yes.
Which
mothers do.
Which mothers do, and she's done a great job doing it, but it put a lot of weight on me, which then started the bullying.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, so you'll obviously touch on the bullying now in a second, but how much of an effect did that have on you? Even, like, is there any part of that you ever touch on when you think about fighting nowadays, or is that just all in the past? Does it play any role in your life now? Obviously, you're 26 now. No, you're past it. Did it have any effect when you were going in initially and like kickboxing?
I'm sure it did, bro. Like, I'm sure it definitely did. Because, like, the bullying did get bad, bro. Like I'll tell a little story. Like, I remember when one time, and I was 10 years of age, and the bullying got so bad, bro. I remember sitting in the hallway in my house, and I was holding a golf club because I wanted to go out and beat them with the golf club.
Yeah. And what was the name calling, or
just everything, just tease and name calling, just bullying, bro. Just like, just you know, like, it wasn't necessarily, they never beat me up or anything. There was nothing like that, but it was all just being made a tick out of constantly in front of people, and it was just putting me down. And I just lost it, and I went into it. And I remember my mum trying to take the golf club on me, and I was sitting down, like, with my back up against the radiator. I was holding the golf club real tight, and she was holding it. And I remember just saying, I just wanted to kill myself. You know what I mean? I just wanted to kill myself. I just wanted to die. And that night, when I went to bed, my ma sat on the side of my bed, and she told me, she was rubbing my face, and she said, one day all of these boys are going to want to be your friend. And it's crazy, bro, because that's what ended up happening. I remember I told you a story about me meeting a childhood bully, my oldest childhood bully.
That was only recently, was it?
That was only recently.
It was after your last fight?
After my last fight, yeah. And it was mad, like, because I wouldn't be a guy for going out much, but after my last fight, from checking calf kicks, my left leg was quite swollen. My left shin was quite swollen, and I was dead, to be honest with you. So I couldn't put any weight on. I couldn't really walk. So I couldn't go out after the fight. And loads of people came down, a load of family members came down to watch the fight. And our plan was to go out in Cork afterwards and have a bit of crack. But it never came to fruition. So the week later, I organised for us all to go to the Shamrock, which is in Finglas, for a couple of points with the lads and a few games of pool and all, and we ended up making our way to the Shilling, and this is where I met this guy. So he was there, and I just felt him looking at me all night, and eventually as I walked by him, he pulled me and was like, what's the bleeding story, blah blah blah, giving all this, that and the other, and like nice as anything. And he says, I go straight into tunnel vision, like type of thing. Like the second I turned to him and seeing who it was, for like, it felt like 10 seconds, but it was probably like a millisecond. But it was just, I could just visualise beating the living daylights out of this fella and laughing at him. You know what I mean? But as I come out of that like tunnel sort, and I hear what he's saying, he's like, I see you have kids now, and you're doing so well with the fighting, aren't you? It's fair play to you, and all. He's giving all this praise, and he knows more about me than some of my friends know, and some people that are close to me. He's giving this praise, and I'm just like, what? And comes back to me about what my ma said. All of these boys are going to want to be your friend one day. And I remember I walked off. I was with my brother. My brother was standing right beside me while this was happening. Yeah. And I remember I was walked off with my arm around my brother, and I said, do you remember what ma said to us? And he was looking at me like, what are you on about? You know what I mean? My brother thinks I'm nuts. You know what I mean? He's gas. He just thinks I'm off the chain, man. So I'm like, do you remember what ma said? And he's like, what are you on about, ma? What, when? I was like, when we were younger, when I was 10. Do you not remember? And he was like, I'm sure he just said, yeah. But I was like, she told me all of them are going to want to be me fucking friends. I said, look, that bleeding fool. Do you
remember when your mom said them words to you as you're on that bed? Did that give you a bit of hope?
Yeah, I sure did, because when I started talking about it again, bro, I felt it, bro. I felt it in my chest, you know what I mean? Felt that feeling again. Of course, bro, it gave me some sort of hope, absolutely.
That's incredible, man. It's incredible. So it didn't have any significance in regards
I don't think so, bro, to be honest with you. I didn't get beat up, bro. It definitely played a part in like self-esteem and self-confidence, and that's why I then built a big false self-confidence I had throughout my teenage years.
Yeah. Because you've confidence written on your arm now, don't you?
I've confidence tattooed on my arm.
Where's that come from?
Because in 2020, January, I got saved in June. In January, I got my first tattoo. I got this tattoo. This says, pain is temporary, pride is forever. Ooh. So that was a saying that my granddad, who was an Olympian, he always used to say that to me. Always. He used to always say, pain is temporary, pride is forever, son. And that's what he used to always say to me. And when I got that done, he done my brother's next. My brother got tattooed the same day, and then I said, I just got this sporadic idea to get confidence. I was like, confidence. So I got confidence tattooed there then. So it says confidence there.
Confidence is a great word.
And I used to always say, before I actually came to the conclusion of this whole thing, I got confidence tattooed on my arm because I know what it's not like to have it, and I never want to forget it. So that's what I used to always say. But what little did I know was I was going to get saved 5 months later, and God was going to strip me of my confidence. And that's why I was tattooed there, because even though through my darkest of days and my deepest of struggles, I would look at that and go, confidence. That's what I need to get back to. But God was building up a real confidence in me, bro, is what I'm getting to.
Yeah. And how does that look?
Right now, what it looks like. You call me a confident guy, bro. You know what I mean? You're quite a confident guy yourself.
Because you're fulfilling what God has intended for you.
Because I'm aligning my life with His will.
Love that.
And not in a mad priesty way, not in a mad Catholic church way of like, you know what I mean? You gotta do this and say your Hail Marys and say your Fathers, and you gotta give your penance, and you gotta light your candles.
Not that way.
Not that way. It's just every day when I wake up, it might not be straight away. Some mornings it is straight away. Some mornings it's not. Some mornings I drag myself out of bed and I'm sore and I'm tired, but by the time I get to have a piss and I'm sitting there and you have that 10-15 seconds with yourself in the morning when you're having your piss and you're like, I remember where it actually started was because of my ma's house. She always had a little plaque right here, eye level, over the toilet, and it said, chase your dreams. And I remember when I used to work scaffolding full time, train full time, had a newborn baby, I used to go up in the morning at 6 o'clock and I'd be having a piss and I'd be just like, all I'd want to do is do anything to get out of this. I'd love to just be able to go to 10 o'clock morning session in Team Rhino. You know what I mean? And I'd be standing there at 6 o'clock, pitch black, no one else up. And I just look at that at the end of my piss and it'd say, chase your dreams. And I'd be like, right. And I turn around, I turn the cold tap on, I put 3 or 4 bits of cold water on my face and look myself in the mirror and I'd be like, just get it done. Let's just get it done. Just get it done. You know what I mean?
I love that, man. And confidence is a powerful word. And like you said, it's night and day not having it. I think the actual translation of the word confidence means to confide in, means to trust within. And like you're trusting the path that God has for you, and that's why you now have more confidence. And you do come across as
I have real confidence.
Real confidence, yeah.
Where I had a false confidence for so long. You know
which
what I mean?
always gets found out.
And it does get found out, you know what I mean? And it was stripped away from me, and it was in Team Rhino. Andy helped me with it a lot as well, sort of acted as a father figure in that way. Brought me down off that pedestal. Do you know what I mean? For me, first few fights, I'll be giving it the Conor McGregor effect, talking so much crap. And I talk anyways. I'm that guy on the mat that's just like talking shit to everybody. Like we were sparring last night. I'm just like, I'm coming for you. You're getting it. You know what I mean? In the round, sticking me tongue out with the boys, calling them pussies. You know what I mean? I just love it.
You love the fun of it.
I love the because it's like, if I can't like. Now we're fighting, so you know what I mean.
It's nothing more. It's as real as it gets. Do
it, like, you know what I mean. Like I'm at the calling you a bitch. Do something about it now. You know what I mean. The boys are like, but we all do it. You know, it's great. It's great. Like, you know what I mean. And it's brilliant, and it really like it builds that. It shows the brotherhood that we've built. We know each other. You know what I mean. Like
even during the pain of a hard training session, the camaraderie.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's what it's about. Tell me, you touched on there, obviously chasing your dreams, and as you're looking at that plaque every morning. Where's your motivation come from? You know, you're striving and you're in the pursuit of getting to the UFC, and obviously you're going pro now with the next fight. You're professional already, like you mentioned. Where is your motivation coming from, Mr. Draper? Where is that like internal drive? What's pushing you forward? What's driving you forward? What's pulling you forward?
The idea of not being able to wake up in the morning and have breakfast with me babies and seeing me missus and bring me baby to school and then go to the gym straight afterwards and be with the lads and train and put a hard session in and have the crack and then be able to go home, have some lunch with me missus when she finishes work at 12, then pick up the kids together. You know what I mean?
So it's presence.
That's important.
Presence.
Being present. Being there for my kids, bro. That's, if I choose the alternative route, which is scaffolding, the construction industry, I'm sure I would make a lot of money doing that as well. You know what I mean? I'd be very successful in that as well because I love scaffolding, and it's everything I have in life is because of scaffolding. Yeah. It's not because of fighting. I've given everything to this sport and I've got nothing back. You know what I mean? Yet.
Keyword.
But so far, nothing back, and I'm fine with that. You know what I mean? But everything I have in this life is because of scaffolding. Yeah. And everything my kids have in this life, my missus has in this, not everything my missus has, obviously she has her own family and stuff, but my kids have is because of scaffolding. Yeah.
Because that's your livelihood.
Yes, but unfortunately what comes with that is time and sacrifice, and I'm awake at 6 o'clock in the morning and I don't get home till 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the day, and I don't get to do school run, I don't get to pick them up, I don't get to have lunch with them, I don't get to bring them to the balls or to the park in between training sessions. That doesn't exist in life. So that's my motivation now, bro. That's
to get your time back.
It's to have that time with them and to know that if this all works out, I could potentially be retired by 35 and be able to provide a tremendous life for me, my family, my brother, my mother. You know what I mean?
So that is your biggest drive.
And also to give an alternative route to the young people in my family. And around the area, of course. But if I'm being real, my family. Yeah. That they don't have to just go the route of scaffolding. They don't just have to go the route of being a labourer or a brickie or a bus driver or a taxi driver or working in a shop. Come work, I'm going to have a gym. Come work in my gym. Come be a personal trainer. Come be a striking coach. Come learn. Come meet other people. Because in gyms, bro, you meet a variety of all people. Yeah.
We will get back to the conversation in just a second, but if you're enjoying this episode, please leave a 5-star review, share with a friend, and make sure to hit that follow button for the next episode. And what this will do is just help the podcast grow and grow so I can get bigger and better guests as we go along. All the best.
It's the opportunity that they one of my cousins might come into the gym, work a little bit in the gym.
Yeah.
He might meet somebody that has an interest in him. Next of all, he's getting an opportunity somewhere else. I can tell you one thing, there's no opportunities on construction sites, bro.
Yeah.
There's nothing but depressed, miserable alcoholics, drug addicts, people that hate their lives, hate their existence. You know what I mean?
In regards to...
Not all.
Not all. But scaffolding, has there been any transference over, scaffolding's heavy lifting, it's heavy duty.
Absolutely.
Has there been any transference from doing scaffolding over to martial arts in any shape or form?
In the conditioning and
yeah.
the strength way. The strength.
Oh, you touched on grip strength before.
Oh, grip strength, of course, bro. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean? I'm
that's
literally
huge.
handling I transfer probably 2 to 3 tons of steel from the ground to the sky every day.
And is that helping when you're, tossing someone over, or how does that equate to like fighting?
I can imagine it just builds like people like you ever roll with a tradesman. I used to always notice this. There's a fella that comes to my mind called Colin Healy. He's a carpenter by trade, and I remember rolling with him. He was in his 38, 39 when I was probably 17, 18, and I used to roll with him. And I used to remember when he grabbed me wrists, when he get wrist control, and it would just be like unbreakable, and it'd be like, how is this guy squeezing?
Do you know what trade he's done?
Yeah, he was a carpenter.
Oh, carpenter, okay.
So he was a carpenter, so he was in the trade game for probably 20 odd years, 25 years before this. So he has this natural strength. Excuse me. It's the same with most tradesmen. If you even like you look at the Instagram videos and all, there's like construction workers compete against bodybuilders and lifting stuff. It's like, because construction workers, we're not bodybuilders. It's part of the job. They're getting paid to do this. You know what I mean? So it's the same with me with scaffolding. Like, I'm getting paid every day for like 8 hours a day. I'm putting gear on me, like steel on my shoulder, steel boards, wooden boards, steel tubes, pipes on my shoulders, carrying them up 6-story flights of stairs, doing 10 and 15 runs up the stairs just to be able to build a job. You know what I mean? That could be one job before 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Then you have a break, and then you're going to do another one like that, and you're going to do another one like that, and you're going to do that every single day because you're on this job for 3 months.
How would you fit training in with all this? Because you do personal training as well. So you're doing scaffolding.
No. So when I stopped scaffolding in 2023,
yeah,
when I went part-time with scaffolding, I started to pick up the PTs.
Okay.
And the PTs got busy enough to where I could stop scaffolding and where I just jump in and out.
And you balance the two now, do you?
Well, no, I don't do scaffolding anymore.
Oh,
I just do my own mixers with my brother.
Okay.
So I get random jobs maybe once a month that pay a nice lump sum.
Yeah.
And we kind of walk off that. Now, my brother still works full time for my uncle. He has a very good position around the company. But he just helps me out with the mixers because it's extra cash for him. Do you know what I mean? He's in the game of making money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that, man. I love it. Interesting. And then you touched obviously on your partner. How crucial has that been in regards to having a good partner by your side in the career that you're building? Like, do you think you could be in the same position that you're in now if it wasn't for the support of your partner?
No, because and I tell you why. There's 3 of them: me mother, me brother, and I like to call her my wife, even though we're not married on cert.
The missus.
And wife, the missus,
and
the missus. Okay, so the 3 of them, they're if like the workload with the children that Chloe takes off me is godly. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, you have me mother that helps out as well. So I have such a strong workforce with them there that are making sure them kids are getting everything they need. And then of course, with the benefit of me being able to bring Bella to school in the morning, it's great, bro. Like, I get to do the morning routine with her. I get up, she gets up, we do the morning routine. You know what I mean? I get to be a part. So I do get to help where if I'm but Chloe's fine if I go scaffolding, which I had to before Christmas because Santi has to be paid, you know what I mean, for all the children. Santi has to be paid. So you have to go back working to build up a good, because Christmas is very expensive. And like, I'm up early, and on top of that, so this is my routine for the whole of December. Wake up 6 a.m, come home at 4 p.m, have my first week PT at 5 p.m, train from 6 to 7:30, do a 7:30 to 8:30 PT and a 8:30 to 9:30 PT. Then I go home, and then I go to bed, and then I wake up again at 6 a.m. and I do that. And that was my life from 18 till 23 for 5 years, and 3 years with a newborn. You know what I mean, with Bella. But it's unsustainable, bro. Like, how can I see my child for 1 hour in the evening?
And you're going to burn yourself out as well.
Yeah, and on the weekend, Saturday morning, you're up and you're out running in the morning. Then you're going back to the gym and you're doing your wrestling class for 2 hours. You're up from 8 a.m. till you're not back in the gaff till 1:30. So then you're going straight out to spend time with the family. you're exhausted, bro. By Saturday evening, then Sunday you don't want to move, but you still have to do bits and bobs. Still have to spend time for yourself. You know, it's like it's a lot.
Continuous,
so that's where my motivation comes from, bro. Because I don't want millions and billions and cars and houses and all this. I just want to be able to say on a Wednesday night when it's gloomy and dark out, kids, we're going to Eddie Rockets.
Yeah.
Or come on, we're going to Nando's. Or come on, we're going to Bleeding, the pictures. That sounds so small, but in today's world, bro, with the cost of living crisis, that's not as easy for 90% of this country to be able to say. Parents can't do that. You know what I mean? They can't just say that on a random Wednesday or Thursday night, let's go do this, because it doesn't fit in the budget for the month. If we go do this, that means one bill isn't getting paid this month. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I just want that type of freedom. That's it, bro.
I love that. And in regards to being a father, how's that kind of changed your whole outlook on life?
Well, yeah, that's it. Becoming a dad made me, because I never knew if my dad loved me, because I only knew him till I was 8.
Okay.
So I didn't know if. I'm sure he loved me, of course.
And did he ever say
I mean,
the
Ma
word?
always told me that.
Did he ever say the words?
Of course he did. Yeah, of
Okay.
course he did. But I couldn't remember. I can't remember.
Okay.
Because I was so young when he passed, and it's been so long. It's 19 years this year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but when I had Bella in 2019, the end of 2019, when I had Bella, I then realised the love I had for her, and it confirmed in my brain that, oh, my dad had this love for me.
And
then
beautiful.
yeah, it is. And it also then made me realise also that a God, because I'd only found God around this point as well, and I was like, there's no way a God that's so perfect, that has the sun at the perfect point, that has the moon at the perfect point, that he's put trees, this mad things that grow out of the ground, but they purify the oxygen for us, so they make our air cleaner. Like, all of these things, like the fact that you don't get, like, the ecosystem will collapse if the bees die. It's like, all of this perfectness. How could he take my dad away at 8 years of age? How could a God so perfect act so out of line?
Yeah, so harsh, almost.
So harsh. It's because this isn't all. And God has a reason for everything. Everything. Maybe if my dad didn't die when I was 8, bro, I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Yeah. You might have a different path, different life.
Paths are so different. Sometimes, bro, unfortunately, it takes for parents to lose a young child for them to come to God. Sometimes harsh stuff has to happen, bro, for people to turn back to him. Because God doesn't care about the right now. God cares about the end game. God's looking at the long game. God's not looking at this week. God's looking at the long game. God's like, the only way I'm going to get you to turn back to me is if I take something away from you that is going to break you. And when it breaks you, I'm going to be there and I'm going to rebuild you. And I'm going to show you the purpose of life. And that happens every day around us, bro. You can't blame God for it. Like, I could have easily blamed God my whole life. And I kind of did through my teen years. That's why I used to say, me and my brother used to say, we're atheists, even though we didn't know what it meant. You know what I mean? We used to say stuff like that. But it's because it was meant to be. Yeah. It was meant to be. And it put me here, you know what I mean?
And he's got a bigger purpose for you now.
Well, now I know the purpose, bro, which has been something I'm seeking for 5 years. And I can tell you one thing, bro, when you know your purpose, it changes.
You're a powerful man,
bro.
yeah.
It changes, bro.
It gives your life sense of direction.
Yeah,
it gives it deep meaning.
Yeah, bro.
And you're in pursuit of that vision, which you're in pursuit of now. Let's bring you back to the fighting, right?
Yes,
Because obviously, you're obviously the main man here in regards to the fighting.
Before you ask me any question you want,
so what
bet
I'd love
tips.
to...
I'm joking, I don't
What
bet.
I want to touch on, obviously, you were only stopped once in 20 fights.
Yep.
Let's go back to that, because we started with about Khabib's... is he actually Khabib's cousin?
I don't know if you can be a cousin.
The
reason why we say that is because of the joke online is that Dagestanis are all cousins.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? But like, that's just
all
a joke.
from the same area, yeah.
Yeah, they're all from like that area. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, he did. His gym, same in my home gym is Team Rhino. Obviously he was representing Russia. I was representing Ireland at the time. But his home gym was the same gym that Khabib trains in. He is from Dagestan, that town of, I think it's Makashala or something.
Okay, and why was that loss in particular so significant in your career?
Because I was forced to quit. I could not find a way out. I could not make another. I couldn't find an excuse.
And what happened? He wrestled you to the ground.
just because the wrestling is so exhausting. And
Yeah.
I had the gas tank to fight her off for 1 round, but I didn't have the gas tank to fight her off for round 2 and round 3. And round 2 he got me with a trip and put me on my knees. And when he put me on my knees, he straight away got the inside grip around my waist and pinned me to the cage with his hip. So I was stuck with a big 120 kilo bloke on top of me. And he wasn't as tall, and he's only about 5'11", so he was more small and compact. So the weight felt like a bus pushing me into the cage.
Yeah.
And on top of that, my legs were completely gone from the start of the fight, because we actually missed that. Why your legs go like that? Because of the nervous system, is because of the truth, obviously, that you're recognising. But because of that, you're not able to flush lactic acid as efficiently. That's the scientific.
Wow.
Because you're not as fit as you're supposed to be,
Yeah.
your blood is filling up with lactic acid a lot quicker than what it would be if you'd done a lot more work.
That is
So that's why my legs felt like that. And when they hit the ground for the first time, the knees, the blood that filled in my legs was like, my legs wouldn't move. I could not, I shit you not, I could not get from one knee to 1 foot. Because the weight of him, but not only that, like, now if I was in that position, I'm sure I'd somehow get to me feet. But back then, because I was so unprepared for that particular fight. And the reason why I was so unprepared, bro, I didn't mention this, was because that's when I started when I realised I had depression, bro. Because my girlfriend found out she was pregnant in the December. This was in the June. My baby was going to be born in the August. Like, for that whole camp, for that whole 6 months previous to that fight, I was depressed, bro. But without knowing it. This is where the false confidence and all was, because it was all false confidence. But inside, I had to be strong for her. It's okay, it's grand, it's going to be good, it's going to work out. But in my mind, my whole dream had shattered in front of me of getting to the UFC by 23. I was 18, 19 at this point, and I realised, oh my God, I'm after doing something that I never, ever thought would actually happen. Never in my life never throughout my teenage years did I think I was going to have kids. I never thought about that.
Especially so young.
So young. And then I got my first girlfriend, and it's like, bang, next of all, a year later she's pregnant, and it's like, whoa. And then I go into deep depression, didn't train the way I was supposed, but didn't realise all this till later on, till I went back through all this in my mind, you know what I mean, and through talking out with people and stuff, I realised then, do you know what I mean, that like, that was my breaking point. And then what happens when we're broken? God comes and he puts us back together, you know what I mean.
And that's what happened after that fight?
That's what happened in that fight. I quit in that fight. I was on my knee. I literally remember every punch that he threw, and I could hear the referee, move, you need to move, you need to move. And I was just taking them. And I just, the whole time I was thinking, I accept it. I will never lose again. I will never feel like this in a fight again. And I never have, thank God.
Thank God, man.
Thank God.
And what was the bounce back after that fight? Who did you fight next after
I
that?
fought a guy called Conor McDermott, a high-level grappler.
And you won that?
On Clan Wars.
Yeah.
Smoked him. No offence, Conor, if it isn't this year, a legend, but
Yeah.
but it was like, I looked so good, bro, on the feet.
Yeah.
Like, I really put it there. And I remember walking out before that fight. This was like, and I would have been like young enough to Andy, so I would have been like, he wouldn't have like been, we wouldn't have been as close, you know what I mean? I was only in the gym probably 3 years at that point. And I'm right before I walk out, I was literally shouting to myself, 9 minutes to change my life, 9 minutes to change my life, fuck scaffolding, yeah? I'm saying to myself, fuck scaffolding, yeah? 9 minutes to change my life. And he's looking, I can feel him looking at me going, oh, there's nuts, man, you know what I mean? Went out, and I just remember I was not losing that day, bro.
Yeah.
I was not losing.
And next fight you won again.
Then I won, and I won, and I won, and then I got robbed, but then I won, and then now I'm going pro.
And the most recent win, that was your most significant, because there was meant to be a pro fight in between that.
Yes, I signed with Cage Warriors in the April. Signed with Cage Warriors in the April, well into February. Meant to fight in the April, 3 days before he pulls out. They offered a fight to one bloke. He says no. Offered a fight to another bloke. Asked for too much money. I wasn't generating enough money, obviously, because I was fighting in Glasgow, and it was only my debut. I was meant to be coming in to fight a ticket seller. I was coming in to fight Jamie McDonald, who was 4-1 at the time, already signed the Cage Warriors, already fighting on Cage Warriors. It was a tough test, but I believed I was going to beat him. And that fight got taken away. But that camp catapulted me into a mindset of, I'm never losing this. I obviously can't maintain that fight fitness for the whole year, because fight fitness is just different. You get sick and all after fight. Every single fighter will tell you they get sick after about a week after a fight. Yeah, you get really bad flu run down, bro. Your body is just aching. It's just because you have the amount of water you eat. That's why a lot of fighters have unhealthy relationships with food. Your body is, because you're at them in training at such a ferocious amount.
Intensity, yeah,
The intensity that your body is like, there's no amount of calories that you can put down your throat that can make up and repair these cells and repair these muscles correctly. So by the time the fight's over and your nervous system as well, on top of that is going, your brain is going 2 weeks before the fight, you're just locked in, you're just like, nothing exists past this date. And it's like, then you get to after the fight and it's like, not even heavyweights, but a lot of the lower weight classes are even worse for it. They just overindulge in food, get an unhealthy relationship with food. But after this specific camp, that wasn't happening because I didn't fight. Even though I'd done the hardest camp in my life, because my pro debut, hardest camp in my life, took a week off, and then I went straight back to training. Then about 2-3 months later, I went to Alicante, and my body was a bit broke up. I said, I'm going to take a week off in Alicante, and when I come back, I'm not stopping until my pro debut. And I had like 3 or 4 fights lined up in between that. All of them fell through in like a week. And then Andy just accepts an amateur fight for me, a main event amateur fight, which was amazing because I co-main twice, but I never main evented as an amateur. I got to knock that accolade off by having that amateur fight because I got the main event. And not only did I get the main event, then what came from that, then I won the heavyweight of the year in Ireland.
Just recently, only last
week.
Last week,
you know what I mean? So off that
and
as well.
So weird, man.
So I got 2 cool things to finish off amateur.
It's like you're meant to.
I was meant to. It wouldn't have happened if I wasn't meant to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's incredible.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And tell me, let's bring it up to the present moment because you were due to fight in Cage Warriors in February, and that's fallen through twice.
No, in April.
April.
Yeah, and then I was meant to fight on Cage Warriors 200 in February, just coming up.
That's going to be here in Dublin.
Technically next month.
Yeah.
And I had an opponent on Sunday. This was at the start of December. I had an opponent on Sunday. By Wednesday morning, my opponent had pulled out. So I was like, this is ridiculous. And then on top of that, I get told, because the card is so packed, there's no chance that you're getting back on. We're not going to waste our time looking for another opponent for you for this card because it's already so close now and we've had an opponent for you and now he's pulled out. It's just like we're moving on type thing. We'll get you on the next card. I'm just like, yeah, sound, whatever. I'm just stayed on the training. And then miraculously, this fight comes up. Been offered it like 3 or 4 times. It never came to fruition. Now it's come to fruition. It's on March 7th. It's like
across the pond.
Yeah. Another way to look at it is actually my dad died in Amsterdam and March 7th is exactly 6 years from when I went to Amsterdam the first time. So it's pretty cool as well, a little connection there.
And tell me, this...
Across the pond, in Liverpool, yeah.
Yeah,
in Liverpool.
Okay. And this is the first pro fight?
First professional fight.
And why do you believe it's going to be so different to amateur from your own point of view?
So, with regarding the mindset, bro, the mindset of professional fighting is different to the mindset of amateur fighting. And the reason why amateur fights are still gruesome. I'm not saying like amateur, like I've had hard amateur fights, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like rough fights, you know what I mean? You've been broke up afterwards. Like the only difference is the elbows and the knees to the face. That's the only, and the longer rounds. But the difference for me is the intent behind the sport. It's now no longer a sport to me. It's now a business to me, and it's now also life or death. Because at the end of the day, the referees don't stop the fights as easily. So I get caught with a shot. A ref isn't jumping in straight. If I drop somebody in an amateur fight, if I drop somebody, the referee more than likely is never letting more than one shot go. If he sees me going to land one big shot, he's stopping it. Because he's not letting that risk come to fruition. In professional, you get dropped with a shot, you are given 5 unanswered shots to answer. Sorry, you are given 5 shots to answer. If they are unanswered, the fight will be stopped. That's 5 full force blows from a professional athlete that's gonna try to take your head off. He's trying to finish you.
So is there more, because there's more on the line now, you're showing up more intent?
You've got to come in
there's
more. Not even that there's more on the line. There is more on the line, absolutely. But that's not what I'm thinking of. What I'm thinking of is this guy is genuinely going to try and kill me.
So the stakes are a lot higher?
They're a lot higher.
Okay.
A lot higher. Yeah. And for me, I have no problem taking your head off.
So you like that pressure?
Yeah, because it's like, now it's real. Now it's really real. Now it's like, now we're in the real small gloves. Now I can elbow you. Now you can elbow me. Now when you're on the ground and you're in that weird position that in all my amateur fights, I've had people in and I could have nailed them straight in the face and knocked them out. Now I can do that, but now it can be done to me. You know what I mean? There's it's a different mentality, bro. It's like there's an aggression that's in me that has been waiting to get out for years and years and years, and I feel like it's going to be... Now we can use it.
Yeah.
God didn't want me to use it in amateur because... For what? Who remembers so-and-so getting knocked out in 2021 by Brian Draper? I don't. Do you? No. Do you? No.
And you believe you've got
but
that power.
he believes it. He remembers it. His wife remembers being there watching him get decapitated for bleeding. No money in front of 300 people in a bleeding sports hall. You know what I mean? And his two young
so you feel like you've always had it in reserve, or it's always been in reserve.
Absolutely, bro.
Yeah. That's
absolutely
brilliant, man. I love that.
I can't wait to let it out, bro, because it's been brewing for years, and maybe after that I'll be able to tell you if maybe bro, I probably was thinking about the bullies a little bit. I'll send you a voice afterwards, James. The bullies came up. I was calling him your man's name and all, man. It was crazy.
Tell me, the opponent you are fighting though, there is a bit of significance obviously behind the date, like you mentioned, but Tom Aspinall is a big
role model for me.
Big role model for you. And how does that tie into this fighter you're taking
on?
The
guy that I'm fighting is a training partner of Tom. So he's been on the mats with Tom Aspinall, the heavyweight world champion, the best heavyweight in the world for probably the last 2 or 3 years. He's on the mats with him every day. You know, he's training with him, he's learning from him. That's where I want to be, bro. You know, I'm not trying to... Josh can be there as well, bro. It's no problem, but right now me and Josh have business to sort out, and I think it's... I'm not going to say, but it's going to be a very, very good fight. It's going to be a very competitive fight. That's what's fun about it for me, because I'm fighting somebody that's of that level. That is of that level that I think I'm at, but I don't know I'm at. So what I said to you last time was that I'll know my truth. And after this fight, I will know my truth. I will know whether I've been deceiving myself all this time and whether I've actually not been deceiving myself and I'm not crazy, and that's actually just a little bit of low self-esteem and a little bit of low self-worth, and I probably should start believing in myself a bit more. But after this fight, when I take him out and when I do what I always said I'm going to do, and when I get my hand raised on March 7th, bro, I will know my truth and I will know my worth, and I'll know that this is what I was supposed to do. And I'm going to prove all my supporters right, bro. I'm going to prove me ma right. I'm going to prove me brother right. I'm going to prove me girlfriend right. I'm going to prove me uncle right, who supported me the whole way. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
It's going to be a moment of revelation.
Bro, absolutely going to be a moment of revelation. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, that is incredible, man. Incredible. And like you said, it is time for you to step up to the program.
Yeah, bro. And it's so exciting, bro. It's so exciting.
In regards to mentality then.
Yep.
You've touched on this with me before. You've done therapy for a while. Was there any elements of yourself in your mind that you had to get right to go on this journey that you're now on? Like, you're about to step into the cage March 7th, first professional fight as well. Was there anything inside your mind you had to correct before making that step forward into where you are right now? I'd
say the main thing was figuring out my purpose, bro. Because I have no problem with fighting. I have no issue with fighting. I don't fear fighting in a sense. I fear the outcome. That's probably where the nerves come from and stuff like that. I prefer the performance. I want the performance to say something about me in a way that, you know, I don't know, like, is a good reflection of my work. You know what I mean? That's where the nerves comes from, the fear comes from.
Okay.
But actual fighting, it doesn't require any specific mentality for me. I can fight right. If you said to me, Brian, there's a heavyweight outside and he has a set of gloves and he'd like to do a bit of sparring with you, I'd say, James, sound as a pound.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So you've no fear in that regard?
No, I don't have any fear. So there was nothing that I needed to work on in that regard. But what I did need to work on was understanding that this is for me. And I had to talk through my whole life with my therapist. And he, the same way you kind of look at me, he's looking at me like, bro, if you can't see that, you are blind. You know what I mean? And it's like...
And how did he help you see that?
By just
saying it
let
out.
me talk, bro. Let me... I never had friends that would sit and talk with me and let me talk about me. You know what I mean? Because I suppose it would make them probably feel a certain way. I don't know why, but I never had that. Like, I only ever had my mother and my brother to talk to, and at the end of the day, they're your family. You need an other outlet that you can be a bit more, you can talk in a different way to.
Of course.
Never had that, so when I found my therapist, bro, he became the one male person in my life that I could talk to about me, and he'd just sit there and listen, and I would just talk for the first 20 sessions. It was just me talking and talking and talking, you know, and through it all, he was like bringing me back. He was writing things down after sessions that were significant, and he was like bringing them back up the week after, and it was like light bulbs going off, you know what I mean? Like boom, 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 boom. And then I was able to realise that, okay, well, what I really found was I need to align myself with God properly, because 3 years I was on fire for God. 1 year I was doubting God. I knew he existed, but I was doubting God, and I was doubting what was happening, and I was doubting what was going on, and I was doubting, is this the purpose? And then when therapy, that's what I'm saying, therapy then brought me to the realisation that this is my purpose. This is your purpose. Like, this absolutely is your purpose. Because when I'd be telling him stories like I was telling you, bro, it's like, he's like bing, 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 writing it down. A week or two later, I'd bring up the same sort of thing. You said this a few weeks ago about this, and then it'd be like, I said that. Right, well, this happened since then, and that happened since then. So, right, and that would be another confirmation.
Confirmation.
And then it just brought me to this place, and also I was getting then to talk about a lot of bad stuff that happened as well, bro, because I never spoke about it. So I was actually hearing it and speaking it and talking about, because I have a very, very good memory of my past, and I remember. I can remember them like their movie scenes, you know what I mean? I can recall them like their movie scenes, you know what I mean? And I can tell you every detail. And I was talking about all these memories that I had with my dad, with my granddad, with my mum, with my brother, with everybody in my life. And it was like, I don't know, bro, just talking about it. It was no longer in here. It was just out.
Out, man, yeah.
And I was lighter on him.
And he's helping you understand yourself to a whole nother level.
That's the thing as well, because I've been so busy walking and just trying to get better and get to this point that I've never self-reflected.
And
ever.
It's such a beautiful thing, man. And also to touch on that, like you said, you're in the do mode. You're going. The scaffolding, the misses, the
everything,
work,
the
the
kids,
gym,
the
the
life,
PT.
everything, bro.
You never got a chance to really be. And when you get the chance to just be present in the moment and reflect back on the past, you have all these revelations once again, and you understand yourself better. And the ancient Greeks had this famous quote. They said, "The seed of all wisdom is to know thyself." And the more you understand yourself, the more you know about yourself.
The seed of thy wisdom is to know
thyself. Seed of all wisdom is to know thyself.
That's
and that's what that therapist helped you do.
Absolutely. He did, bro. He did, and he's continuing. I look at it now as a training session. People go to
for the mind, for the sight. Yeah,
people go to sports psychologists and all that sort of that. I don't necessarily think. Well, I leave everything in God's hands every day, and I ask Him to bring forth His will for me, because I don't want to. Every time I try to do my day and try run the day, I always end up sad. So I'm just gonna let Him do it, and I always end up happy. Not always, because sometimes there's trials and tribulations in there, but you know when these things are happening and you've asked Him to bring forth His will, it's like you know that it's part of His will, so you almost half smile to yourself going, right, okay, this I'm going to come out the better of this. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for me, sports psychologists have reached out, and I've had friends in the industry that have offered sports psychology as a, like, they have sports, and they said you can contact them, and I've just never, it's never happened. It's never happened, bro. Yeah. And I've come to the conclusion now that my therapist is my outlet for my mind, you know. And the reason why I do the session, because there's going to be stuff that I still need to talk about and still comes up randomly that I'd never even have thought about since I was a child, and it comes up. But mostly now it's talking to affirm. It's like affirmations, you know what I mean? I'm affirming who I am, what I'm doing, where I'm going. All of these things, and he's reminding me, and
it's strengthening your identity as a fighter.
Absolutely, bro, absolutely. And it's been a huge part, bro. He helped me understand it's okay to have thoughts that aren't good for you. Bro, I struggled with that when I first found God. I was trying to eliminate them thoughts so bad, I was driving myself insane, bro. You know what I mean? But he helped me understand that was normal.
And would these be like negative thoughts or intrusive thoughts?
Negative thoughts, intrusive thoughts, like.
And would they be
overthinking?
Okay, you know? Yeah. Just doing your own head in.
Just doing my own head in, bro. And just letting things brew up here for too long, and then.
And what was your outlet then?
Other than martial arts, I had no outlet, but then I found an outlet in weed, bro. And that was where I found great comfort, but I also understood that this isn't... You can't use something that makes me feel this good and normal can't be the solution. Because it's of the world.
It's a quick fix.
If it was nobody's jumping up to try read the Gospels to try and change their life, but everybody will happily pick up a glass of whiskey or a pint of beer or a vape or a smoke, you know, to kind of make themselves feel that back at baseline for a second.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I understood quite quickly that this was only a part-time fix. You know what I mean? And that's why I had to kind of get away from that and put God first, bro. Like, just genuinely put him first in this journey, because then whatever happens, I know that it's according to him and it wasn't on me. You know what I mean? Like, because I used to be too hard on myself and all, do you know what I mean? So like, it's a lot easier.
And there is something about like just giving it up to God, surrendering to God's plan. Because surrender, I believe, is the greatest form of strength. Because in that case, you've got no power. In regards to like, if you've given it all up to God, you have no power. It's in his hands, not yours. And that takes a lot to do. It
does, bro. And when people hear that, they're going to say, well, like a lot of people, like my friend Adam Darby, he's a very logical person and he's very like that type of mindset. And he's like, no, it's all on you. It's all on you. Like if like you can't blame God.
It's not to not do the work.
Exactly, bro. This is what I wanted to say. It's not. That's exactly it. It's. We're not saying because you're surrendering and you're powerless.
It's like you're sitting at home.
You're powerless. It's not. Yeah, if you are sitting at home, smoking joints all day, eating pizza and playing video games all day, you can't expect great things to happen. You know what I mean? But just because you're giving everything and you're sacrificing it, like Adam, and sometimes things don't go your way, he finds it hard, in my opinion. Then, like, I remember when he lost for the first time in the IMAFs, he had a broken leg. This guy had a broken leg, somehow convinced the commission over there, the medical team, that he didn't have a broken leg. Went into a fight against another Dagestani guy who just wanted to wrestle. This guy had one leg and managed to go to a decision. He was so hard on himself after that fight. He was like so hard. I'd never seen somebody be so hard on themselves after a fight. And I was just thinking, like, the fact that you got in the cage is a testament to you.
Yeah.
The fact that you didn't get finished is like, whoa. In
a way, he won that fight.
In a weird way, he beat his mind and won that fight. He broke his leg 4 weeks before the fight, and he said, and trained the whole time. It was mad. But like, he'd be like another, in my personal life, I can relate to, he'd be like the opposite of me now, being like, bro, nothing you're doing is of you. Like, everything, like, from when you decide to wake up and you're going to put them pair of shoes on today instead of them pairs of shoes, God knew that. You know what I mean? Like, and that's hard for people to accept, bro. It is hard for people to accept, but when you do accept it and you see it for yourself, because you have to see it, when you see it, it's beautiful, bro.
But that's what faith is, man. Faith is believing in the things that are not seen. And, you know, just having this internal, I think it's belief, man. It's blind belief. Faith is blind belief. You can't necessarily see God. You just have to feel God's presence and know that he's there.
Yeah, absolutely. And people have seen God, bro. And people have felt God. And people have heard from God and all of these things. And people can believe that if they want. But at the end of the day, it's like, why is Christianity the most persecuted? I don't call it a religion. It's a relationship. But the most persecuted ideology in the world. Why? And if it's man-made, why are they writing things that doesn't suit man? You know what I mean? Why does it go against everything that the world says? Because it's the truth. You know what I mean? It's the truth, bro. And yeah, I don't know.
I love that, man. I love that. Listen, we're going to finish on a verse, and I think you know this one well.
100%.
It's been an absolute pleasure of a conversation as well, Mr. Brian Draper. But Jeremiah 29, right? For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. How does that apply to your own life based on everything you said here today?
Bro, it's a brilliant verse.
Brilliant verse.
What's that, Jeremiah 24, did you say?
Jeremiah 29, I've got written down here.
29, lovely, bro.
For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future.
Bro, that's and God's word is true. So when God can't lie. In pure light, there can be no darkness. In pure darkness, there can be no light. That's the separation. When God speaks, it's truth. That's truth. When he says that, that's 100% true. When he says that, he does not lie. So when he's telling us that, it's the reason why we find that hard to believe is because the other fella is trying to convince you that that's not true. But in our hearts, bro, anyone that hears that, if you read that to me right now when I was having a really bad day, we weren't on a podcast, bro, that would fill my heart with joy. And it would probably fill most people's heart with joy.
It would indeed.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, like, you know what I mean? He knows everything. Everything is written, bro. He knows the number of hairs that has ever been on your head. He knows the number of sand granules that are on the earth. He knows how many grains of sand there is on the earth, bro.
He knows it all.
So he knows everything. So when just my advice would be, try it. Later on, if you hear this podcast later on, just when you're in bed or whenever you do it, when you're on a walk or you're in your car, just say, God, if you exist, please show me. I'd love to know. I'd love to know. And I'd love to know you. And that's all you have to say.
That's beautiful, man.
And watch the coincidences now. And now you're going to become a person that goes, oh, that's a coincidence, that's a coincidence. Oh, this is weird, this is weird. No, but then something will happen. And something will happen. And then when it happens, you'll think straight, the Holy Spirit will bring you straight back to that time you prayed.
Yeah.
And then you'll go. And then you'll either go, no, fuck that. And then you'll go off and you're not ready to come to him, and that's fine. Or else you'll be like what happened to you in the summer, and you'll grow from it. What happened to me in June of 2020, I'll grow from it. I'm sure them little moments happened plenty of times for me previously, but I went the other direction. Yeah. You know?
You moved away. Mr. Brian Draper, if anyone is looking to get in contact with you, where should they go?
They should go to Brian Draper _MMA on Instagram. I'm not really on anything else, bro. I don't do Twitter, I don't do TikTok. More Instagram if you want to get me, and hopefully there'll be a bit of content coming in the new year.
Guaranteed. So, and the big fight coming March the 7th. And the big fight coming
in March the 7th.
Boom.
Yeah, bro.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited to the journey. Thank you so much, man. And we'll run this back definitely at some stage.
Bro, I reckon we'll be busy this year with fights, so I'll have plenty to talk about. Coming towards the end of the year.
Happy days, man.
So maybe we can do a little
synopsis.
Yeah. Ooh, you're so good with them words. Jesus Christ.
Ladies and gentlemen, all the best. We'll catch you next one. Boom.